It's the Florida Roundtable. Melissa Fox along with Elsa Burns, and we are talking about a tech talent shortage, which is going to create a lot of job opportunities, even though we're constantly hearing about layoffs. Okay, we just heard Disney's laying off 7,000 people, but don't worry. Elsa Burns has got some answers. She's got the pathway for you to follow. I feel this. Elsa, thanks for joining us today on the Florida Roundtable. We've been talking about Revature and what the organization does. Perhaps a little recap would be in line.
Absolutely. Revature, Melissa, enables tech talent with industry-leading tech skills. So we take someone with absolutely no technical skills. We put them what we call through our hire, train, deploy model across 55 technologies, giving what our clients would like for us to focus on, and we get them day one ready for enterprise projects. And we've done that for 10,000 individuals who are glowing and thriving in their tech careers today.
I love it. Recent layoffs in tech, they kind of paint a negative picture of the tech industry. But then I'll drive around and I see things like Ninja Code, little companies that are out there that teach youngins how to write code. And I'm like, this is it. This is a good idea. This is great. But what are we looking at here? The economic landscape isn't great, right? There's going to be a big demand for tech talent?
Absolutely. This is an interesting time in tech. I mean, I think in the past 12 months, there's been about 70,000 employers, U.S.-based tech companies that have lost their jobs, but that just represents a fraction of the tech workforce, and that's what everyone should keep in mind. Many who lost their jobs found new opportunities within 3 months, wow. 80% of them, according to a November ZipRecruiter survey. So the opportunities are there. The pandemic created some disruption across tech and in the talent landscape. Companies rushed for digital transformation, and the big tech companies, the 5 big tech companies, really ramped up their hiring in response to that. And some of the smaller mid-cap companies did not just do that. So there will absolutely continue to be strong hiring needs in 2023. Those needs will still be focused with companies who are prioritizing digital transformation, which is still prompted by the disruption of the pandemic. Remote work is becoming real for many organizations, and that takes some prioritization around that digital transformation.
Now, I would think...
have hope.
I have hope. I have hope. People out there have hope. Elsa says have hope. There are jobs, but we've got to find our path there. Now, I know a lot of these tech companies have been very, I want to say, single-minded. They tend to go to the trades, and schools and such. What about us neurodiverse people who think a little bit differently? Aren't we perfect for the tech jobs?
That's exactly it. That's the aptitude component, right? If you have the capability to learn how to code and you have the right attitude and this career seems like a great fit for you, then it makes sense to consider going down. What in 2021 there were only 60,000 computer science graduates, and we should keep that number in mind. Like I referenced earlier, there are 375,000 jobs currently open in the U.S. for tech positions. So clearly there's a gap. We are just not graduating enough computer science graduates to fit that need. So it's important and critical for employers to really kind of open their mind and shift from going after the top-tier schools and only the computer science graduates to really considering those that have great neural capabilities, have the aptitude, and are willing and able to take this pathway. And opening that funnel will give you a robust look at different backgrounds with diversity, too, which is great for revenue in the organization and diversity of thought.
Talking with Elsa Burns. She is SVP of Recruitment and Workforce Partnerships. And we mentioned in the earlier segment about some steps that possible candidates can take, even though they may not have a traditional tech background. Could you refresh us on that? What is the direction? If you're out there listening right now and this person says, you know what, this might be for me. I think a little bit differently, but I wasn't necessarily in the tech track. So help guide them, Elsa.
Yeah, start by taking a step back and consider your journey unique. Start there, right? Remove all the barriers you've created in your head for yourself and do the due diligence, do the research to understand, given your unique background, whether that's your community college graduate or you hold a bachelor's degree, but it's not computer science or another technical degree, that there is a pathway out there for you. Revature has a pathway out there for you. Again, we've done that for 10,000 individuals to date who have strong technical careers now. So do the research. To take advantage of some of the free coding opportunities, platforms that are out there. Revature also offers some free coding to get comfortable with learning on your own and then continue to explore that through other organizations like Revature who could help support and take you forward along that pathway to give you the appropriate training and, of course, across the latest technologies with the organizations which we are super plugged into.
Personal question. How old is too old to start?
Never too old to start. Again, we recruit emerging talent, but that emerging talent sometimes is out of school for 3, 4, 5 years, and we've definitely hired and trained and deployed talent that are in their mid-30s. So it is never too late to pursue a career in tech.
Fantastic. Now let's take it from the business side. As I mentioned, they're often very single-sided. I am a tech company. I must take people from a technical trade school. No, that is not true. Do you have any information for maybe these organizations that might be struggling to find good tech talent?
Yeah, again, I think for organizations who are struggling to find good tech talent, it's really taken a hard look at why you're stuck on your hiring criteria that you've put in place today. Again, 10,000 alumni from Revature, I would say at least 50% of those 10,000 alumni do not hold computer science or technical backgrounds, and they've retained with their employer organizations at 94% because of the support, because of the training, and because of the unique backgrounds and the pathway and the opportunity that have been provided to them. So, and if you can't, as an employer, figure this out on your own, I suggest looking for organizations who are willing to support you as that third-party hiring support need.
Ooh, I like that. So tell us a little bit more about Revature. This, honestly, because, I like to show my cards, I've not heard of you before, but y'all are the largest employer of emerging technology talent. Tell us a little bit about the company.
Yeah, the company has been around since 2016 with this model. It started, and we are really, in the beginning, we're kind of taking a stance like we see many employers do today, really targeting computer science graduates only, and shifted that to STEM graduates. And then we started kind of attracting talent that had no background whatsoever and did not have any skills, but definitely had this unique and powerful, passionate interest to pursue tech. So that's when, after conversations with talent to understand their desires and needs and finding the right assessments to understand what the aptitude measurement would be to be successful on a career pathway is where we really honed in and started to see great success. I think, the future for Revature, given all the shortage in technical roles, is very strong, and I think there's opportunities for us to do similar sort of training across different industries, different verticals outside of just tech that also takes non-traditional talent to upskill them and get them ready for the job.
Non-traditional talent. They're talking to you. You right there. You know who it is. That neurospicy person in your life that might think a little bit differently but loves a computer, can hyper-focus, or maybe just a personality-based thing. It doesn't even have to have tech talent, as Elsa's telling you. It's all kinds of people. You guys have like a networking setup, right? A downline, a pipeline of people that are constantly, shooting qualified graduates to companies. Is that correct?
That's right. We have robust partnerships with about 50-plus different universities and colleges, but as I referenced earlier, we've recruited from 700 different universities and colleges nationally. So we don't discriminate. Talent is distributed opportunity is not. And that's what we prioritize and focus here at Revature. So we have partnerships with institutions that drive some of our diversity focus. So we have partnerships with HBCUs. We have partnerships with all women colleges to really try to impact the tech space from a diversity angle. And of course, we have partnerships with other nonprofit organizations who also have similar missions that align to Revature that's focused on non-traditional talent to upskill them and get them employed.
Elsa, let's talk for a second about girls and STEM. If you had a chance to, an opportunity perhaps, like right now, to address females out there, maybe high school students, what would you tell them about their possible futures?
Wow. Tech is a great career path. And I think the thing that I would tell females, all the girls out there about tech, I think nationally about 19% of software engineers are female, and that's great. That's an improvement in the last 5 years.
But it can be better.
It can be better, and STEM degrees are actually down across females. But what I would say to all the females that are out there that did not pursue a STEM degree, there is a pathway to tech. And there are low-code, no-code positions in tech. Like I said, I've spent the last 15 years in the ed tech world. I am not a technical person. I do not know how to code. So there's more roles outside in the tech space that are not specifically around coding and having this robust technical aptitude, but still possible to be in the space.
Yeah, I mean, multitasking alone, as we mentioned, the psychology, the management skills, all kinds of different skills have got to play into a tech job. I mean, it makes sense to me. You're not just sitting there and, I can type, therefore I can play. It's not that way. At least,
no, collaboration, solutioning, critical thing. It's multitasking. A lot of the skills that us girls have, make a really good fit in tech.
Hey, real quick, because we got to wrap this up. I've really had a wonderful time talking with you, Elsa. Where can our listeners go for more information?
Revature.com, where you can learn more, or you can fill out the contact us page if you want to get in touch.
Oh, perfect. Elsa Burns, SVP of Recruitment and Workforce Partnerships, telling us that tech talent is going to create some serious opportunities there, so that might be the area you want to look for. Thank you so much for sharing your time and this great information with us on the Florida Roundtable.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for having me.
You got it. You're listening to the Florida Talk and Entertainment Network.